Flower Factor, another cool live stream, and today, this afternoon, we are at Dillewijn Zwapak. Great company, and of course for me the occasion to also show you their new magazine. It has new products, a lot of information about the products, so it's really interesting to have a look. You can also find it online, so there's a printed version and online. And of course they have this very thick book with the total range they have in products, from bowls to accessories to buckets to decoration material. You can find it, everything you can find in here, so that's really good. So it's almost like a one-stop shop where you can get all your cool stuff. And of course a live stream is not a live stream without creating something. Another thing we want to talk about is the food we have for flowers. So I have my flowers here, and we have this Vase Life Universal Pro 2. This is perfect to use in your shop because it's easy and it is really helping the flowers a lot to stay fresh, to get open really good, better quality, longer lasting quality. So it's always useful and good to have something like this in your shop. I think it's really helpful and handy to have a pump like this, but Dillewijn Zwapak is a company that likes to innovate. So they also have this stuff, and this is really cool. Little bags, and the nice thing of this is it's made of FSC paper, so very good for the environment, but also it has really tiny micro holes that basically let out the food when you throw this in the bucket. You can just put it in your bucket, no worries, no care. It's recyclable, so perfect way if you're not using a pump, or if you even have a small shop and you think, I don't want to pump, but just throw it in. You can get it out, get in the paper bin, perfect. So two great solutions to make sure that your flowers last longer and you can provide your customers with long-lasting flowers. I'm going to start off with something quick, simple, and it's good to mention that everything I use, besides flowers, you can just find it online at Dillewijn Zwapak. I have these beautiful wood slices and I made some holes in it, and already this is really cool. I have to make sure that the bottom one is not sliding off. So I'm going to slide it up a little bit using some rope, and a lot of people now, because of also caring about the environment, like the natural materials. So we have the natural rope, and that already gives a nice effect. I'm going to use some of these sticks, and to be honest, I saw them this morning and I really like them, and if you look closely at them, it's just a little decoration on top, but still that simple decoration gives a really cool effect. I'm just gonna slide it through the holes. And in the beginning, again, it's a bit tricky. We have to use tension to make sure that it will go in. And I always say, don't worry if things are a bit difficult, because if things are easy, everyone would do it. Of course, if you have questions for me or for also the company Dillewijn Zwapak, just let us know, because we always are interested in hearing things you want to know, maybe problems you find or things that you want to change in your shop. Let's see if I can get one more in. That's too tight. Then we have to be creative. Take a little piece. Let's see if we can manage it like this, because I want to have it with a little bit of distance. Then we have to put in some water. So I hope everyone is online enjoying. And because springtime is coming, some nice branches for Forsythia. And again, I'm going to keep it really simple. It's just to show you the ideas and to show you that basically with 3 materials from one company already we can have a big impact. One more. So I hope everyone is enjoying. Love containers like this that has a little stand. Lift up the container a little bit. And for me, floristry is also about making an impact with not so much materials. So I have this slice of wood. And let me show you. I have a little incision here. I'm going to drill some holes. I have to admit, it's not the sharpest drill. I'm making a big mess. The nice thing is that we can slide it over the edge of the container, and this already is a very powerful and strong statement. Then we have this really cool, like Cocos raffia type of rope, very natural. It's stronger than you might think. And the only thing I'm going to do is use the holes to go through, maybe use the edge here to clamp it. I'm just going to make a little mess. Going through the holes, basically providing a little structure for the flowers. Made it a little bit difficult by having the holes not so big, so sometimes it gets a bit tight. But again, don't worry about it. And of course, this is just to show you ideas, this live stream, to show you cool products. When we do this for a customer, we have to make sure that the wood is completely clean, so your water is clean too. So there's a bit of sawdust in the water, but we're all creative, so we can imagine it's not. And then just 3 beautiful flowers should be enough. And I'm just placing them in different lengths, going in one direction. And then I have 2 holes left, and I can use that to place the flowers a little bit more in the direction that I want. So this we're going to do with a little knot. So I want this to be here, going around, securing it. going through, underneath. There's no real system. Just make sure that it's solid and tight. So is everyone having fun? That's good. Really nice, simple design. A bit heavy with the piece of wood, but I forgot I made some nice details with the sticks we used earlier, placing them in. And little details like this, I always say, are the herbs when you cook. You can spice up your design a little bit, make sure that the attention is more and longer focused to your work. I prepared a little bit, so springtime is coming. A lot of florists like to use eggs, so what I've done is just place the eggs in the bowl with hot glue, made some connections, and again, if I would do this for a customer, I would make sure that the glue is finished off, but it's just to show you the technique. A little piece of wood with a stick, and then we have a really cool base for a small bouquet. We're going to keep it really simple. So, are there any questions? If not, I have questions for you. That's the thing I always say to my students. If you have questions, ask them. If you don't have questions, you have to think of questions. So my question to you is, do you know the company Dillewijn Zwapak? I'm curious. How many of you know the company? Curious if people are thinking, reacting. Of course, you have to be a little bit careful because the eggs are quite delicate. So probably knowing myself, I would break one. Another question then for you, because I cannot read the answers, or if their answers are coming. How many of you use flower food in your shop? And in what way do you use it? Do you use the pumps like this? Do you use the little bags you can add to your bouquets for the customer? You see already with a nice base, which is easy to make, we can create a really nice...
Someone has a question, if they are boiler or not.
No, these are basically eggs that are, how do you say that?
Empty.
Empty, so they're empty eggs, very light. And I always like eggs that comes from my childhood, because I wanted to be a forest ranger and I love birds, so I was always collecting eggs. And of course, that were the eggs that were left in the nest. Very simple, very effective. And of course, some water. So already some nice designs, but we have another like little inspirational house like this on the other side. So we're going to move over a little bit. I'm taking some stuff with me. See you on the other side. And here we are in a completely different atmosphere. And we will keep continuing with some cool creations. same container as before, but in this case I'm using this wire to go around really quick. Maybe you've seen me do this trick before. It's a very interesting and quick way to create something. I'm going to do that with 2 different colors. It's always a challenge to show you as many designs possible in half an hour. So I hope you enjoy the techniques.
Someone saying hello from Perth. I use flower food only as a service to my clients' delivered bouquets.
Okay, that's interesting. And does she also use the food when she buys the flowers and put them in their shop or in their studio? Or is it just to give away to customers? So I'm using some of the natural rope. Trying to get it underneath somewhere, going around. And then of course the trick is to slide it upwards. You can use a few sticks. Maybe you want it in a bend, in a little curve. If you want it straight, you can use more wire, or you can use sticks to make it straight. And most people know that I really like sticks, so seeing this one with this little detail on it already is really making me happy. And in this case, I'm going to use some gerbras, some really special anthuriums. So is everyone having fun? And again, let me know if you have questions, either for me or for the company Dillewijn Zwapak. So with the structure like this, that you can make in a few minutes, maybe 3-4 minutes, we can place the flowers very easy using the structure.
We got a answer from Perth, from Iris. And she says, my flowers come and go really fast, so no need to store in flower food. But if I want to boost the flower to open, I do use it in the studio as well.
Okay, that's interesting. I need to put some water in. Of course, that would be something I could have done a bit earlier. This is something also very cool. Let me show you. I'm using the biofoam from Oasis. Paper with a liner inside to make it water close. We also have this cool thing. Really nice bags. Cool natural feeling, natural material. The nice thing is this is also waterproof, but it's also recyclable. So again, also FSC. So products like this, especially now, but especially upcoming years, will be more and more important, because we have to think about the environment, and our customers are asking more and more about where is it coming from, and how is it made. I'm gonna make a little adjustment, making just a few holes. Then I just want to spread this around using the foam, pushing it down. And I'm going to make a little nest almost. It can be a bit messy because it can be a resemblance of a bird's nest maybe. It works really nice. And I'm using the holes to get the material down. So I want to create some movements. I'm using the holes and the stick to place it down into the structure. So it gets a little bit curly and messy, but with a certain rhythm, with a certain movement, we try to do that. Also seeing the sticks on the outside gives a nice effect. Maybe a little cut here and there. And let's see what we're going to use. Maybe some beautiful Frasia. Gonna work short with them, and here and there I'm using the flower also to keep the raffia a little bit more to the bottom. So I hope everyone is having fun. So maybe classic, but with a twist, letting the raffia come out here and there, gives a nice effect. Put it here. Something very simple, and very effective. Because next to all the materials I've shown, containers are also available. And this is a very classical shape, but to be honest, I did not see it in this size. So it's a nice small size. And for me, this classical shape is always good, always nice. In this case, I'm using a lot of water. I'm going to put the bear grass upside down and really making it a little bit messy on the top part. So we get a nice movement going round. And in a classical vase like this, having that movement inside and outside, I think is very interesting. Of course, you can make this as long and as big as you want. Again, I'm going to give it a little haircut. And let's go for this strong color. Let's go for this one. classical vase, classical flower. Playing a little bit also with the length of the flowers. So I'm curious to know if we have some reactions, more reactions to the flower food use. Are you using flower food? How do you use it? Very simple, but very effective, very quick. And it's also something, as a florist, besides making beautiful things, we also have to be able to make beautiful things in a quick way to impress customers, but also to make our labor cost a little bit lower. So together with flower food, good container, fresh flowers, it will work. Make a little bit of space. I'm making a big mess. And making things that are good for the environment, using materials that are good for the environment is of course perfect, but for me, thinking about the environment is also recycling. So elastic bands, we can use them time and time again in different ways. And in this case, very simple. What I mean with recycling, a nice example, for example, is that if I drive along the street and I see an old couch standing next to the street, I take my knife, take off the leather, and I reuse the leather because it's a beautiful material. And of course, it's a pity if that is just thrown away. Gonna make the structure, have these pieces of wood on a metal pin, and of course a lot of florists are taught don't show the metal, but I think if you make a statement and you exaggerate, then the metal can also be a part of your design. Hope everyone is having fun. Well, we have to put in some water later. It's always nice. Of course, I had to do this way sooner in the beginning. And for me, it's interesting to see that with already four materials, so we have the gravel, we have the glass, we have the elastic bands, the piece of wood, it all comes from one company. And again, it makes it easy for us to create. A little reminder to myself to put water in later on. Very simple, very effective. One more thing, and that's using this mesh type fiber. What I'm going to do is basically take the edge, the points towards each other, grabbing it together here, taking a little wire to go around, fixing those 4 points, then we're gonna make a small bouquet using just a few flowers. With the stems we go through very carefully that you don't split the stems. Hope everyone is having fun. Do the same with the ornithogalums.
Someone just gave an idea. Would you put something at the end of these wires?
Yeah, you can do
Like berries? Just thinking
berries.
of safety hazards.
That's very good. And where's he from?
Perth.
I thought so, because in Australia safety hazards are always very important. But it's a very good suggestion. You can use berries, a little knot with wool, just to hide it a little bit, to protect it a little bit. And then we just tie it off. It's very simple, so it's a very commercial idea. And in this case, because we are talking about also flower food, I will also wrap it. So we have this beautiful paper. It's called grass paper, and not without any reason, because it's made out of grass. And I have to admit, I'm not the best wrapper in flowers, but I will do my best. Gives a nice effect. And then of course, if you're a florist, if you're selling your flowers to customers, give them the flower food. So in this case we have the same flower food, also FSC labeled, so perfect. If you use it, you can put it in the paper waste bin, no problem. It will be all recyclable. In this case I'm going to use a little tape, but you can also do a little staple on the edge. You can be creative and grab it together, make almost a little ribbon out of it with some wire, a little bow tie, I think it's called. So there's a lot of creative ways to also make sure that your customers have the flower food, so they can enjoy your creations much longer. I hope you enjoy this live stream. I hope you enjoy the techniques, but also the information. And of course this live stream will stay online, so you can keep on asking your questions. If you want to know more about flower food, if you want to know more about techniques or the company Dillewijn Zwapak, feel free to ask. And I see you next time at Flower Factor. Have a good day.